What, you feel threatened?
Yeah, hence why I'm recording it, just in case anybody's trying anything cheeky.
That's fine.
I've had it before where police has thrown me on the floor for asking him, have you got ID?
Welcome to today's episode. Auditor Curno Audit is out working alongside a colleague when police arrive after a resident reports someone suspicious simply because he didn't look like he belonged. Despite having committed no offense, the officers focus obsessively on his ID, disregard his legal rights, and unlawfully detain him. Curno, however, refuses to be intimidated. He takes the matter to court, secures a significant victory, and even sees some of the officers involved removed from their positions, proving once again that standing up for your rights can hold authorities accountable.
Your badge number?
Well, I hope it is.
Let's
take a photograph of it, please.
Yeah. Just wondering, I've got to prove it. Obviously, I don't know you from Adam. You could be someone just who's dressed up.
We're not going to do this for fancy dress, are we? Right. As my colleague explained, the reason why we stopped you is because you fit the description of somebody acting suspiciously. Right? Now, you've given a legitimate reason why you're here.
Yeah.
Right. But we need to see some ID and some proof that you are here legitimately.
No, I understand that.
Can we see that, please?
I understand that, but on another term, I have actually got human rights.
Is that your vehicle there?
Nope.
Okay. So, what form of identification have you got on you to say you're actually canvassing?
I've got ID on me, but I don't have to legally show it yet, because I've not committed a crime.
Right.
Obviously, if you...
We've
had a phone call about like suspicious males, so we need to ascertain whether you say you are, but I take it you're not going to give us your name.
I get this every week.
Verify. Yeah, but you've got to appreciate we get calls from members.
No, I understand that, but I'm doing a job, I'm paying me taxes, I'm earning money. Yeah. I mean, I don't understand, I have not committed a crime.
If you were calling us, surely you'd want us to follow it up, wouldn't you? That's why we've been sent here, to follow it up, we want to be rest assured when we leave here today that you're not up to anything suspicious.
Suspicion based solely on a vague phone call, without any concrete evidence of a crime, does not provide lawful grounds for detention or an ID check. The officer's claim that he needed to ascertain whether you are who you say you are is deeply problematic, particularly because the auditor never claimed a false identity. The auditor was fully within his rights to withhold his ID in the absence of reasonable suspicion of a specific offense. UK law is clear, you are not required to provide identification unless you are being lawfully detained under defined legal grounds, which the officers failed to establish. Attempting to extract ID based on a vague third-party report creates opportunities for profiling and abuse of authority, especially when no crime has actually been committed.
I understand it in that way, but I'm not...
Your name gives you ID, we could ring SafeStar, say, and confirm...
Well, you can ring SafeStar and you can ask them if, obviously, if you've got canvases in this area and you'll validate who I am.
And what's your name?
Obviously, I'm not giving it out.
Well, when I ring up SafeStar UK and say you've got canvases and they say
they know I'm in this office, they know I'm around here. Because we get issued to a certain area and they keep both names of the people.
So where's your ID card?
It is on me, but I don't have to show it. I've not committed a crime.
We're going round in circles here, aren't we, chap?
No, I don't mean human rights, mate. I've not committed a crime. Obviously, you're putting me under alarm and distress now. You both cover it going round me. Obviously, you're trying to say that I have to show my ID.
You're putting me under alarm and distress.
How am I?
You are ID. We've shown you our ID. So
yeah, but at the end of the day, you're a public servant.
Rather than respecting the auditor's lawful right to withhold his ID when there is no suspicion of a crime, the officers continue to badger him, then bizarrely claim that he is causing them harassment, alarm, and distress. The irony is stark, trained officers, armed with uniform and authority, claiming discomfort simply because someone calmly asserts their legal rights. When challenged about their own conduct, one officer attempts to justify it by saying, "We've shown you our ID." But that misses the point entirely. The problem is their relentless demand for the auditor's details without any legal justification. By portraying themselves as the victims, they flip the dynamic, masking their own escalation and harassment. Their circular reasoning and refusal to recognize a lawful refusal is not just sloppy policing, it's a clear abuse of authority.
Listen, chap, I may be a public servant, but I'm not your servant.
No, I didn't say you were my servant, did I?
Okay.
I said, but if you're walking around with a police uniform which gives you powers...
Stop going on about YouTube, it's like this public servant, okay? I'm not a servant, I'm a police officer, okay?
Which means, but you serve the public.
I'm a police officer.
Right.
Okay. Police officer. I'm not a servant.
Yeah.
So let's get that quite clear before we start.
Well, there's no need to get angry, is there? Because now you're putting me under alarm and distress. Now I feel threatened.
This officer's remark, "I might be a public servant, but I'm not your servant. I'm not a servant. I'm a police officer," is a textbook display of egotism and entitlement. It undermines the very foundation of policing, that officers exist to serve the public, not themselves. By distancing his role from service, he exposes both an inflated sense of authority and a fundamental misunderstanding of his duty. Worse, this comment doesn't occur in isolation, it follows persistent pressure, intimidation, and a refusal to respect the auditor's lawful rights. The tone is dismissive, confrontational, and steeped in superiority. In that moment, the officer isn't merely avoiding accountability, he's actively rejecting the principles of democratic policing, compounding the harassment, alarm, and distress experienced by someone who has done nothing wrong.
What, you feel threatened?
Yeah, hence why I'm recording it, just in case any of you's trying anything cheeky.
That's fine.
I've had it before where police has thrown me on the floor for asking him, have you got ID?
So police officers thrown you on the floor?
Yeah.
And that's what I do.
I've asked for him.
Very strange.
Well, not all coppers are legitimate, are they? Not all coppers are nice. So at this moment in time, am I detained?
Yes, you are.
What for? What am I being detained for? Have I committed a criminal offence? I've not committed a criminal offence. How can you detain me? Because then you're holding me hostage. You're now restricting my free way of movement because now you're saying I'm being detained for a crime I've not committed. I will just literally. I'll send this to me my lawyer, mate. This is going straight to my lawyer.
First things first, we're recording it.
Yeah.
Has it just picked up the word that you just said to me?
Yeah.
Right. This is your first and last warning. You swear at me again, you'll be arrested. Do you understand me?
Yeah, but I'm asking why am I being detained?
Listen to me. Are you going to listen?
I'll listen, but I want you to listen to my point of view.
Detained at this moment in time.
Yeah.
So we can speak to the caller.
Yeah.
Because as I said, you fit the description of a person seen acting suspiciously.
Yeah.
Right? Now, until we speak to the caller and fathom out what the caller says to us, you're not going anywhere.
Right, so you're detaining me against my own will from a crime that I've not committed.
This is a clear and troubling misuse of police authority. Detaining someone without lawful grounds, simply because they match a vague description of suspicious behavior and no crime has been committed, is not just careless policing, it's a direct violation of civil liberties. The officer openly admits the detention relies solely on the word of a caller and intends to keep the auditor detained until we figure it out. That is not how the law works. Under UK law, particularly PACE, officers must have reasonable, objective grounds to detain someone. A vague report or hunch is insufficient. Here, the officer treats the auditor as guilty until proven innocent, inverting the fundamental principle of justice and turning lawful behavior into a justification for unlawful detention.
Are you going to admit that now on camera, that you're detaining me when I've not committed an offence?
Till we speak to the caller.
Yeah.
See exactly what the caller says you have or haven't done.
Right, but technically you can't detain someone if they've not committed a crime, because then that's holding them against their own will.
Well, once we speak to the caller,
yeah, but now
the crime has been committed, then I'll tell you what's going to happen next.
So you're actually admitting you've illegally detained me for a crime I've not committed?
We haven't illegally detained you.
Well, if you've not detained me, then I'm free to go.
Tell you what, walk up there and we'll follow you then if we need to speak to you again.
But then it's harassing.
Off you go.
But then it's harassing.
It's not harassing.
No, what I'm saying is, if you'd like to leave,
right.
if you'd like to leave now and walk whichever way you like, carry on. And if I need to speak to you at a different time, I'll come after you and have a word with you.
This officer's response is deeply troubling and reveals a blatant disregard for lawful procedure and individual rights. Rather than addressing the auditor's legitimate concern about being unlawfully detained, he casually suggests, "How about you walk away and we'll follow you," as if that resolves the issue. In reality, it only worsens it. Shadowing someone without legal justification constitutes harassment, especially after the auditor has asserted his right to be left alone. Essentially, the officer is proposing an informal, unspoken stop, tailing someone on the off chance it might later support their suspicion, rather than acting lawfully in the moment. This is a classic example of policing by intimidation. Without legal authority to detain, following someone under the guise of potential suspicion is not just unreasonable, it's oppressive.
I'll just put a complaint in. I'll just put a complaint into IPCC.
That's fine. That's fine.
Because obviously you're legally detaining me for a crime I've not committed. So obviously, like I'm going to ask again, am I being detained for a crime? Because obviously now no one's answering. If I'm not being detained for a crime...
I'm just in the process of speaking to your manager.
Right.
If you'd like to walk away, you are free to walk away. And if I detain us a crime, I will come after you, won't I? It's up to you, sir.
I'm not going to turn me back. I'm not going to turn me back on officers so you can body slam me.
Do what you'd like. I don't think I'm capable of body slamming.
Hey, there's police out there that body slam people for the fun of it.
When he's asked for an officer's ID.
So you've illegally detained me, you call me a liar. Yeah, but now you've also legally detained me. So wait until IPC.
No, we're going around in circles. Twice I've said, if you'd like to walk away, walk away.
Well, just for the camera, have I been committed as a crime? Right, so I've not committed a crime, so... Well, you've given me permission to walk away. I'm not, mate. I'm not, mate. Now you're making lies about me. You've also illegally detained me, like I said before, when he says you're now detained. For what crime? He couldn't give me a crime. So he's legally detained me on the spot. He's also kept me hostage. So I do know my rights, and this will be going to IPCC. I will be sent it to Milan. I'll wait until it's all over line. I don't need the log number. I've got your badge numbers. Because I don't trust it. I don't trust the fact I can walk away with you.
Had you shown us your ID in the first instance, I don't think it would have taken this long. So when you're talking about being...
Yeah, but I don't have to show my ID if I've not committed a crime or I'm on suspicion of crime. I've not committed a crime. I'm working.
This officer's remark, that the situation wouldn't have escalated if the auditor had simply identified himself, reveals a deeply flawed and dangerous mindset. It shifts responsibility for poor policing onto someone who was fully within their rights, suggesting that asserting lawful rights is somehow the problem. The auditor had committed no crime, clearly explained he was working, and outlined his legal position, yet the officer treated his refusal to comply as the real issue. This exposes an ego-driven approach. Rather than stepping back and handling the situation lawfully, the officer doubled down, implying that the auditor was responsible for prolonging the encounter. Such thinking is perilous, as it encourages officers to view non-compliance with demands as justification for detention or escalation, undermining both legal standards and public trust.
If working's committing a crime, I'll just go and join benefits.
You could have ascertained your working 10 minutes ago and you could have gone on your way then, couldn't you? So
we'll have to go so we don't have body
Take the
slamming.
log.
So we don't body slamming.
before you get that urge.
Yeah. Okay. So, that's what I said. Free to go, Sam?
Yeah, I'm just waiting for you to leave.
I took them to a criminal court and a civil court. At the criminal court, I was awarded £35,000 because of the incorrect ways and the way they did the jobs, which was performed illegally. Officer Stephen Haynes, PC Jarvis and PC Warwick. One of them was suspended for 2 months with further investigation. One of them was fired, and the other one was given a slap on the wrist and was allowed to still do the job, but under investigation by their own force.
That £35,000 compensation payout speaks volumes, not just about the harm done to Curnow, but about the sheer scale of misconduct by the officers involved. This wasn't a minor oversight, it was a serious legal reckoning. Courts don't hand out that level of compensation unless fundamental rights have been flagrantly violated. The outcomes underline this. One officer was fired, another suspended for 2 months pending investigation, and a third left under internal review. From the outset, the officers displayed a dangerous mix of arrogance and ignorance, treating a vague phone call as justification for suspicion, demanding ID without lawful grounds, and escalating with force and detention when Curnow rightly stood his ground. Comments like the male officer claiming he wasn't a servant, or the female officer implying things would have gone smoother if Curnow had just complied, reveal a profound misunderstanding of civil liberties. This wasn't policing, it was coercion. Their misuse of power, unlawful detention, and attempts to justify it by tracking down the caller exposed a complete failure of procedure. When their tactics failed, they doubled down, even blaming Curnow for wasting time. Ultimately, it was their actions that had real consequences, professionally, legally, and reputationally. This case is a stark warning to any officer who thinks authority excuses ignorance, and a reminder to the public: know your rights, remain calm, document everything, and don't be intimidated. Curnow's steadfast approach and legal knowledge held those who abused power accountable, proving exactly why public oversight and understanding the law are essential. That's it for today's video. If you enjoyed this episode, be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.